Welcome everyone, and welcome to the webinar where AWE will talk about its membership benefits and give you a tour of AWE's new website. My name is Mary Ann Dickinson. I'm the President and CEO of the Alliance for Water Efficiency, and Jeffrey Hughes and Gersharon Baines and I will be walking you through our membership benefits and how to navigate our brand new website. This will be a short webinar. It'll be only 30 minutes in length, but we will leave you time for questions. If you're hearing my voice, you have already figured out that the audio is either through your telephone or a computer microphone and speakers, so either one works. But the webinar phone line is muted because we're recording it. We want to make sure we have a clean recording. But you can type in questions throughout the webinar and we will answer them at the end. The speakers will be happy to answer whatever questions you type into the chat box that's to the right-hand side of your screen. You see a little orange rectangle with a white arrow. If you open up that box, it's a dialog box that has an area where you can type in your questions, and we'll be happy to answer them at the end of the webinar. So moving on, what we just like to explain right off the bat is who we bring together at the Alliance for Water Efficiency and why we created this organization. We wanted to make sure that all water stakeholders, including water suppliers, as well as those that plan for water resources, those that build equipment and products that are water efficient, those that are focused on efficiency in their businesses, those who are concerned about efficiency in the environmental and energy communities, all of these folks pulled together into one platform where we can talk together. And at this point, the Alliance has close to 500 member organizations representing approximately 200 watersheds across the US and Canada, delivering water to over 50 million water users. So it's a very broad coverage, and we are attempting in this organization to provide support and services to all of you as members. And that's kind of what we're going to cover today. So going to the next slide. What we want to cover in this webinar is what we provide you with in terms of member benefit. And I'm going to talk specifically about the policy advocacy, the peer networking, and the expertise. And then we'll also talk about education, training, resources and tools, and research, and we'll show you those directly as they are represented on our website. But these are the 6 sort of pillar areas where the Alliance for Water Efficiency provides the most amount of member benefit to those who have signed up with us. And they're the 6 areas that we are most, I think, proud of and hopefully successful in from your perspective. So let's first talk about the policy advocacy. We have been working on this ever since we were formed. One of the very first programs we began to work on the federal level was the WaterSense program. Even before we were officially incorporated, we were working closely with EPA to get the WaterSense program adopted. We wanted a water labeling program like Energy Star, as successful as Energy Star for water efficiency, and that program was launched in 2006. But it continues to be a battle to make sure that program stays. And WaterSense funding and authorization for WaterSense were big policy issues that we worked on over the past decade. The program is now authorized, but it's not permanently funded. Every year we're at the Capitol in Washington trying to make sure that the WaterSense program is getting the appropriations that it needs to continue functioning. Another issue that we've been working on for a while now is getting tax exemption status at the federal level for water efficiency and conservation rebates. Also for green infrastructure stormwater rebates. They're all areas that we think should be exempt from federal taxation for the consumer. This shouldn't be such a heavy lift. Energy utilities have had energy efficient rebates being tax exempt for several decades now, but for some reason it never extended also into water efficiency. So we've been working with various congressional representatives and senators from all over the country. There's legislation that's been introduced for several Congresses now One is particularly active in this particular session, and we're working with both the Senate and the House to try and make sure that maybe this is the year that we can get this finally to be done. It's not a very difficult fix, just a simple amendment to Section 136 of the tax code, which is a tax code that gives exemption status to energy efficiency rebates. Adding this is not too big a lift. The problem is it's such a small bill that as a standalone bill it won't work on its own. We need to get it integrated in some other measure. So we're working on various options for that now. Though those are two examples of the kind of policy advocacy that we do on behalf of our members. Moving into the next area, peer networking is something we're also particularly proud of. We have advisory committees that our members can participate in. If you're coming to the Water Smart Innovations Conference next week, we invite you to come and join us at our committee meetings. That top picture shows one of those committees meeting in person. We have 3 committees: Education and Outreach, Water Sense and Water Efficient Products, and Water Efficiency Research. Those committees are open to all of our members. You can be a member of all 3 if you like. And those committees work on issues that are of concern generally to the membership, but also to help plan the work program for the Alliance for Water Efficiency. We have one in-person meeting every year at the Water Smart Innovations Conference, and the rest of the meetings are by conference call. We also have an annual meeting at the Water Smart Innovations Conference, which starts at 5 o'clock in the evening on Tuesday, October 1st. So it's the same day as the committee meetings, but it's a time when we get all the members together. I do a summary of what we've accomplished in the year. We have a great speaker. This year we've got an assemblyman from Nevada, Howard Watts, who's going to talk about how he got water efficiency legislation enacted. And then we adjourn to a reception and music. You see a picture of our water efficiency musicians who are all there regaling everyone for the rest of the evening. So it's a great party. You're all welcome to come. So moving to the last slide that I will cover is our expertise. We are particularly proud of our technical assistance capability. You can call us anytime for any water conservation and efficiency question, and even if we don't have the answer, we will research it for you and get back to you. Some of the topics that we've provided assistance on to our members include all of those that are in this list here, from the cost effectiveness of various programs to policies and regulations, issues on water rates and revenue. We've built an entire program called Financing Sustainable Water to deal with this whole revenue stability issue, questions on drought, but mostly questions on conservation program planning and the use of our water conservation tracking tool to help in that conservation program planning exercise. We have staff members who are ready and willing to assist our members in all of these subject areas and more. So do feel free to reach out to us. To get assistance, you can email our program team using this general address, info@a4we.org, and we will answer that question within a day or two and get back to you, maybe set up some resources to send to you or even some direct calls to discuss it in detail. So this is a service that is available free of charge to our members, and we encourage you to take advantage of it. So at this point, I'm going to turn it over to Gersharon Baines, our Manager of Partnerships, and she's going to start talking to you about our website.
Thanks, Marianne. So in terms of, like Marianne covered, our membership benefits of education and training, resources and tools, and research, we're going to go through on our new website. So I'm going to hand it over just to Jeffrey, who can give a little bit more detail, and he's going to cover those items that were on the slide, including how to log into the member portal and how to navigate to different portions to receive full benefit for your membership. So go ahead, Jeffrey. I see you're already navigating.
Yeah, thanks, Gersharon. I'd get a head start on it, make sure it was appearing properly. So welcome, everyone. Thanks again for your interest in joining us today. So just using that last slide as a guide, that's how I'm going to kind of basically drive through the site, and we'll maybe take a little curve off here and there if there's something else interesting to us to we would want to point out. But first off, basically, here's the home page. You jump right into it. You can see it's much different than the previous site. And some of the original reasons why we wanted to redevelop the site was that the overall design of that previous site was definitely outdated. The site navigation didn't clearly present the Alliance's mission, strategic initiatives, programs, and resources. And also the back end of that old site, the CMS itself was in fact going to no longer exist in the near future. And so then a fourth and third reason why we wanted to redevelop the site was basically to kind of take on some more routine processes and automate those, such as webinar access delivery and membership processing. And last but not least, this new site is responsive, whereas the other one was not. So as you see, as I shrink it down, it adjusts automatically. So it works really well on your iPhones and iPads and tablets and such, considering that 30% of our traffic is typically from a phone or a tablet. So again, now just jumping into driving about, the portion we want to first mention is the membership portal, or basically where you're going to go to sign in. And that's under members, and off over to the left, you see a sign in spot. So I'm going to go ahead and click it, and I'm going to sign me in. And it's literally just putting your username, password that was maybe previously given to you in the line, and then typing it. And then hitting return. And then you see that's a successful sign right there. So I'm going to sign out. Now this is where you want to sign out. And I'm going to do this for a reason, because I want to show you another aspect of that sign in portion. So you could sign in there, or if you're at the bottom of the page, it's always in the footer, sign out. You just literally click it and it takes you back. So I'm going to go back to the sign in, which again is under members, under the mega menu. And here is the second and third part I wanted to say is, if you do not have an account, if you are someone other than a primary contact for our organizational member, you're going to click here and then fill in the details, basically kind of making up your own username, providing your email address. And then that, once you hit create new account, you're going to get an email in reply stating that we're going to get back to you because we have to just approve that account. And then you'll get another email subsequent to that after we've approved it, letting you know you're good to go and you could sign in and you have free reign. The last part here is requesting a new membership, because I don't think I'm the only one that forgets their password. I imagine one or two of you might also do that as well. So you can always go, no need to set up another account entirely, but just literally request a new password. You type in your username and or email, hit that button right there, and again, you're going to get another email that's going to reset your password, much like any other account you have worked with online. So that's basically the portal aspect of it, is getting you logged in. But I'm going to stay signed out at the moment because I want to go to the resource library and I want to highlight some things there. And part of that is that, let's see if I can get that mega menu to disappear. There we go. So this is the main site of the resource library. Just generally speaking, it is still under development. There's our 1990s graphic. And we are adding new resources weekly. You'll recall our previous website was many hundreds of pages. We've taken that site and we've reworked it, whittled it down, updated it, and now we have what's before you today. Quite a bit of information still again, but we're still reworking that older information and updating it and adding it weekly. So you definitely want to come back and check on often what's been added. So with that, we want to show you just one of the sections. You have these 14 sections here, and we broke it all out. It's all right there. And then underneath each section, we're going to be in commercial, industrial, institutional as in my example. We have the topic areas. So I'm going to just go ahead and click on that there. You see a nice little intro to CII section, and then underneath are the various topics. And this is all open to anyone who sees the site. Again, I'm not signed into the site, so we get a lot of information, a lot of good introductory information to let folks know what we think of when it comes to CII and where our viewpoint on that. Which when you get into the topic pages is where things are kind of a mix of non-member, member-only information. And to show you that here, I'm going to click on car washes. So here is the topic. And you're going to know right away if you're not signed in, because you're going to get this great big bar right across the bottom of your screen that says, there's more content to see. And you need to sign in or become a member to see it. So here's where I'm going to want to sign in again. In this particular case, only within the resource library when it comes to this member versus non-member information is this bar, so you don't have to go back to the members mega menu and sign in at that one point. You can literally just click right there and it'll take you there. So I'm going to sign in again. And now you see I'm on the same car washes page, but now I have full view of all the pages here. So these first 3 paragraphs were the non-member public information to all. And then the subsequent information here is the member-only information. So that's the difference. And it varies in that amount of what's member versus non-member, depending on the topic that you're in. Some's more, some's less, and that's one thing. So we just wanted to just show you one example. I will give you a little insider tidbit on here to know that if you're seeing all content, is this spacing right here is a little bit more than the usual, and that's where that's the divider between public and member. So that's a general rundown of the resource library. Sharon or Marianne, a little more on that, maybe?
So I would like to just jump in and mention why we're doing this, because those of you who have been members with us for a long time and know that everything had been open and accessible publicly before, you're probably wondering why we're doing this. And it's because if you've been a long-term member, you're not like others who are not members and who are getting that information without paying for a membership. So our Alliance board voted to make sure that the website provided benefits to our members for which they were paying, and so that we would make sure that you stayed with us and knew that we were thinking of your interests and not just making everything available for free.
Okay, thanks, Marianne. So that being a primary section of the library, excuse me, the website, the resource library, that's going to be just loads of fun for anyone to go in and just start clicking around and seeing all the content there. It's amazing. Links to reports, PDFs, outside sites, all that sort. It's all in there. And again, more resources added weekly. So definitely check it out. The next section that we want to talk about is our work, the Alliance for Water Efficiency's work, and where you're going to find that. The previous website had it all over the place. So it depended on topic or resource library, section, that sort of thing. It was just, you kind of had to click and run across it if it wasn't already on the homepage. So here what we've done is we've placed it under impact, under plans, guides, and reports right here on top. That's number 2 section you're really going to want to keep in mind. So we click on that, and this is literally in chronological order, all things AWE that we have our name logo on. They're posted here. And you can sort it by topics from the resource library. So if you're interested in all the items that we've ever done relating to CII, you can literally click that, hit apply, and then it whittles it down. You see that it just went from 18, 17. So those are the items only relating to that particular topic area. So I'm going to go ahead and just reset it and see the long list. And so again, it's very straightforward. It's right there. Very easy to find. You just kind of have to have maybe a general idea of when it was to get to it quickly. But again, to help you get to it quickly, if you don't know the date, again, you can whittle it down by topic. And so it literally goes on if you scroll down to the bottom. Goes through a couple of the few years there, but at the bottom is what I'm showing is that there's just a click along here. So you can literally jump to the last page. And then we have all the way from 2011 to now posted. And so that is the Our Work section under Impact. Again, it's literally just the long list. Any comment there, Marianne or Christine?
Yeah, well, it's one of the good things about seeing this in a list like that is that you have a good indication of all the work that the Alliance has been doing with its various partners as well as ourselves. So do check it all out.
Wonderful. Yeah. So then the third item that was on that, the fourth item that was on that list was publications. And you might recall that on the previous site, we had some kind of basic hard copy publications for sale. So we've continued that. But then there's also other PDF documents, publications that we wanted to make available to folks that were on the old site. We wanted to make them available on the new site because we've had that permission from those outside sources to post. So we wanted to not lose that. And so we've done that. So under resources, again, you're going to see resource library, some other high-end ones, and right there at the bottom is publication. So I'm going to use the mega menu to jump right to that page. And you see here, there's the point where you can click for publications for sale, and then also for download. So just for sale, you literally click it and you jump right into an order form, and it's our documents along with some others, The Blue Revolution by Cynthia Barnett, Jerry Udelson's Dry Run. So you're going to probably recognize a number of those. And then you basically just can click that you're interested in ordering and then fill it out. And then there it is. The publication form is a little basic in that it's about one order, one copy of publication, that sort of thing. So we do say near the bottom that if it's a little more complicated of an order or you want a larger shipment of quantity, you're going to want to reach out to us directly. We'll work that out specifically with you separately. So going back to resources, back to that publication main page, we then have the publications for download and clicking there. And the great thing about this is it's similar to Our Work, which is alluded to here. This is just a limited selection of downloadable publications by AWE and others that I previously mentioned. And it kind of gives you that heads up that you really want to go to the Our Work page with a quick link right there if you're wanting to find more of our particular work. But we do have some primaries that are here, as you can see. We'll just take it again as a more detail. I'll show that in a second. But again, here's the resource library topics. You can whittle them down by. Here you also have kind of a geographical focus. And then this is if it's digital only as a PDF or if it's also a hard copy option. So, but the vast majority in this list here at this time are PDFs. So we'll scroll down to one that isn't the Alliance for Water Efficiency's actual work. And here's one's from our friends at Western Resource Advocates. And we posted here. So you just click on it for more details. And then there it is there. So there's an option that sometimes documents, there might be a cost. This is, I think the vast majority, if not 100% at this point, are free. So you'll likely see this particular button. But as soon as you click on it to gain access, you're going to just kind of give us your name and your email address, hit submit, and then you'll have access to the PDF. It's one of those things. It's just a way that now the Alliance can kind of capture who's interested in the documents versus the previous site where it was just kind of a free-for-all. And anyone and anyone, whether it's a bot or not, could be downloading things or appear to be downloading things. So that's the publication section. And again, down at the bottom, much like the Our Work page, it's got all the pages there. Click to the next, and it just continues on. And these particular ones, I guess I should say for sure, are in publication date chronological order. I guess similar to, again, to Our Work. So next section I want to go to is, again, under resources, and it's our webinars. But again, here you can see under our popular, we have our Legislative Watch page, which you've likely been on before or heard about in our newsletters. Here's our actual newsletter link, which you should come back and visit. We're actually looking to revamp that and restylize that in relation to the new site. So that would be interesting to check back later on. But here's the webinars I want to click on. And here, we're very excited by this. If you see our current today's site, so the time clicked and it went from up here as an upcoming one to a past. And the great thing is as a member, you're going to be able to click in, and if it's a freebie to a member, you're going to be able to, this isn't a good example because it's currently underway, but if you are able to get access, there's the button right there. You're going to access content. If it's free, you're going to get it straight away. You're going to get a link to the video, and you're going to get a link to, the actual PDF delivered right to you right then and there. So great things. Again, topics from the resource library based, so you can whittle it down if you don't want to click through all of those. And then we also have it by year. So we have current, this one here is most current, most recent, all the way back to 2011. And those are the 3 we had back then. So it's that sort of thing there. Marianne, Gershon, anything?
Great. This is the kind of member access that we wanted to give you as members, so that you didn't have to always contact the office to get permission to look at documents or materials from past webinars. Now it's all going to be available to you right there on the website.
Absolutely, yeah. Just again to reiterate, this was one of those original reasons why we wanted to redesign the site. It's again to take a little off the staff side, so there wasn't so much back and forth just to get someone a PDF, and make it easier for members as well. Click a button or 2 away, and there it is in your inbox, if not on screen. So that's the webinar section. Now we're going to jump over to for member only. In the members, we wanted to highlight the member only offering. So if we leave the resources and we come back over here to members, you're going to see our members. And we have a member only offering that we'd like to highlight for everybody. So those members who are on the webinar right now should definitely be aware of these. Folks who are not members at the moment, just be mindful of these, that this is something you want to take into consideration in joining us. So it's just right here, and it's seven-ish items. Again, the resource library. We have some guidance and reports and fact sheets. Smart irrigation marketplace, which I think is in transition at the moment. But then we also have this. Live. Oh, great, wonderful. We have the water conservation tracking tool, which should be music to everyone's ears. The Financing Sustainable Water website. Leaderboard for the G40 standard. And then again, another spot for you to reach out to us about any sort of technical assistance. And then there's also materials where you can go. There's member-only documents here. We have Never Waste as a part of that. It's a media campaign. And then also there's opportunities to customize some of our rates videos and customize our water usage calculator on the Home Waterworks website. Again, member only offered to member only. So that is there. Anyone want to, Gershon, a little more to add there maybe?
Yeah, so we wanted to have this section just to make it easy for our members to find the different resources that they might be using most often based on our experience with our entire membership. So these are really the popular resources. So obviously Jeffrey went through the resource library, and there's another way to navigate to it on the website, but we just wanted to put it right there in one place. The water conservation tracking tool is another big resource that our members use. And so I just wanted to point out with that, because if Jeffrey scrolls a little bit down, the technical assistance, we do offer our members, as Marianne was mentioning technical assistance earlier, I just wanted to point out that we offer technical assistance with the conservation tracking tool. So I just wanted to point that out. A lot of people do work on that tool and then reach out to us to get additional input, because our program teams helped many water utilities with using the tool.
Wonderful. Thanks, Gershon. So that is our member-only offerings. Again, just a way to showcase, highlight a few things that are just member-only specific. So non-members, don't be sad. Join us today and you can get access as well. Where I want to go next is our member directory. Based on the old website, if you're remembering it in nightmares as I am, it was literally just a list of members. It was doing them really no good other than to link to their websites. So here we have a Google Map inset in there, so and you can literally just drill in to areas. So there's our Denver-centric members on that example. But then we also have profiles, and here they are, searchable by our membership categories. So again, if you're looking for only water suppliers who are retailers and members of the Alliance, there it is. And then you see down below, as it refreshes, the list adjusts accordingly. In our particular case, a lot of cities around the United States and Canada. So I'm going to reset that so we have the full list again. And then I'm going to just click into a profile and show you one here. We're going to pick Austin Water. And where did it go? A, B, C, D, there it is. And so here we have, again, more of a write-up. We have an opportunity here to include their logo, obviously another link to their website, because you don't want to ever get rid of that. You want people to be able to click right over to Austin Water Utility if they want to learn even more. We have a nice little blurb about that, but then we also have these badges that we're experimenting with and playing with. Austin Water, in this case, was a original charter sponsor of the Alliance, meaning back in 2006, 2007, they were early supporters in kind and financially to help us get the balls rolling. Say here, their official annual membership started in 2008, so they've been a member ever since. And the work that they do relating to the G40, they've been verified platinum status on that. And you could click over to the G40 page and learn more about that. Our intention is to ultimately have it, see how it's linked. That's literally going to take you to the charter sponsor page. So we're working on getting that linked up to the G40 as well. So you'll then be able to just go straight to G40 if you weren't already familiar with what that's all about. So I'm going to click back out to the member directory, takes you to the main area again. And then I just wanted to scroll down and show you a business member profile. And I'm going all the way down to R, so I'll go the fast way. Excuse it if it's blurring on the screen, but I'm going to just jump down to R. And I'm going all the way to Ratio. So I've clicked there, and there's Ratio again, similar to the Austin Water profile. It's got the logo, got the link to their site, a little blurb, and a badge. They've been a member 16 and very involved since then. And one of the great things is we're working on is how partners or members are involved with AW and what they're up to. And in this case, Ratio was in partnership with us, and they had done a innovations and efficiency showcase webinar. And there's links to it right then and there. So you can then just click on it right away. Takes you to that webinar page straight away. There you can access content. So I think that benefits you as a member, the Alliance, and Ratio as well. So that is the member directory that we're very proud of. Anything further to add, Marianne or Sharon?
No, I think we need to begin to wrap up. I'm conscious of the time.
Okay, let me, if I may, Marianne, just real quick, I just wanted to, they're seeing it here. I just want to make sure that they see that there's a news section. It's a nice long list of our latest news with links to various things. And then we do have a calendar that's quite comprehensive for activities that are related to water efficiency, conservation, Alliance, and partner member.
And as a member, you can have us post your calendar item for you. We have not only calendar item opportunities, but a jobs board as well. So as members, you can have us post your events or post your RFPs and positions. So those are also opportunities available to you.
All right, thanks, Marianne.
So I think we need to go back to the PowerPoint presentation to finish off those remaining slides.
Yes, thanks, Marianne.
So let's just go back to that. So what you've just seen Jeffrey go through is the member portal, the resource library, our work page, publications, webinars, our member-only benefits, and the directory. So Sharon, let's have you finish out the rest of the deck, because I think there are a few more slides. Were there any more slides besides that?
This is the last slide.
That's the last one. Okay, we can let you go, guys. But you have questions for us? We'd be happy to answer any questions you might have. Liam, did anybody type in any questions?
We actually do not have any questions right now. You guys were very thorough.
Okay.
Take that as a positive sign.
So what we'll plan to do is we'll plan to post this webinar recording as a means to encourage membership, and for those who are members who couldn't make the webinar, that they're able to see what they missed and get some of the tips that were listed in the webinar. So if you have any additional questions that you might think of after we close up today, you can email Liam at the address that's given there on the slide. And be sure to stay tuned for our next webinar, which will be in about a month. We'll be doing our regular quarterly webinar together with EPA, the WaterSense program on outdoor water efficiency. So it'll be October 31st at 1 o'clock Central, and we'll be featuring efficient irrigation practices for medians and park strips. So stay tuned, more information will be coming shortly. And so then just at the last slide, just thank you very much for joining us in the webinar. We really appreciate you having been part of this. So thank you. Make sure you contact us if you have any questions.